Speaker's Corner aboard the Villa Vie Odyssey, hosted by Cassingham.
Good evening, Odyssey residents, guests, and esteemed whatever.
Can you speak up? Can't hear you.
Okay. Once upon a time. So this talk kind of was born from residents coming to me saying, could you find somebody to teach us how to be more safe in ports? And there were enough people asking me that. Some of them have great experience living in New York City, defending themselves. They come from a variety of places, and some of them feel quite comfortable defending themselves, protecting their gear, and others don't. So I happen to know a few. I know Mr. Pillowhead. I know his lovely wife. And I know Smiles, and I know Rest Your Bitch Face. Oh, you said it was not, even
not
when it's not
always.
resting.
Not resting, it's just permanent.
That's some of the chatter we had before you came into the room. So let me just turn it over to the team and see what you can learn. It's going to be some presentation and then a lot of Q&A. So have your questions and let's go. Pillowhead, would you start with, you have 30 seconds to tell us your name and your credentials.
What?
Can you hear me?
Yes. It's the on button.
Press the on button.
No one showed us that.
Donna did.
And you have to face this way.
Good evening.
See him, right?
I'm the token male. No, I was asked to be part of the presentation because I needed someone to beat up on, and I have genitals. Sensitive, and hopefully this pillow will work. I'm here. I'm a former law enforcement. I retired 36 years in federal law enforcement, and so I have some experience. A lot of the defensive things. You're not going to see a whole lot of defensive stuff tonight, I got to be honest, but we're going to give you some tips and tricks to try and keep you safe tonight. So I have some experience with that. My background, obviously being in law enforcement, is more of control techniques, things like that, which we're not going to teach you. But those are the type of things that my experience are from a physical perspective. I'll let my lovely wife explain why I have this pillow in my head.
Hey, so I'm Donna, his wife. So I did 5 years of Krav Maga, and Krav Maga. So Krav Maga is Israeli self-defense fighting. It's also called street fighting. There are no rules, anything goes. It kind of is a little bit of martial arts, but take out any of the rules that martial arts or the traditions that martial arts would have. So I really only have 2 targets. It's the groin and the face.
Can you see in the back?
I did this for about 5 years, and I am not an instructor, but I am happy to share my techniques if anybody wants to practice or learn some, but it's more about personal safety. So for me, Krav Maga kind of focused more on being able to get away from an attacker, to neutralize the attacker and get away, and of course strike in the process and get him down.
I guess I'm here because I gave a couple of self-defense classes because I'm a black belt karate aboard the ship, and maybe also because I probably am the person that walks in the weirdest places when we're at ports, and ends up in some very interesting situations and places, and have managed to come out of them all unscathed, except for where I do damage to myself. That's a whole different discussion and a whole different speaker's corner. So maybe that's why I'm here.
Hi everybody, I'm Lauren. I'm here because I'm South African. So I have the most experience out of all of you, between me and Sylja. Purely for self-defense and for spotting tourists. I'm very good at it. I do teach martial arts a little bit on board. I do the Tai Chi, but I like to throw in a couple of extra martial arts moves. I did martial arts for 20 years at home, including Tai Chi, which is fantastic. Shaolin Wushu, which is a little bit more street fighting, and Shaolin Wushu, Kung Fu, and Wing Chun, which is slightly more street fighting kind of style, where it's also not a very pleasant kind of thing. There are various different styles of martial arts that you can go ahead and learn, and it's up to you for what you'd like to do. But is it okay if I jump in on that? But to start off with, I'd like to first talk about being a tourist. Because I've been working at sea for a long time, and I've been to a lot of countries. And the first thing is I want to talk to you about how to spot a tourist, because it's pretty easy when you know how. There's a few little slides that I've made. So when you guys are going out, the first thing that I'm going to recommend that you do is to do some research. All right, do your research on the places that we're going to, the weather, the temperature, all these kind of things, because a lot of the time I'm not saying people will attack you because you're a tourist. I'm saying if you make yourself a weak target, you are inevitably easier to be looked at by dodgy people. And by dodgy people, I mean South Africans. So the first thing that you've got to do is you've got to look at, like, where are you going? Because you don't want to, you remember in the old days we all used to whip out the old map and then trace it. Now we're all on the phone trying to look. Have a look at the places where you're going before. Look at where you're going, do a little bit of research. What should I wear culturally that's not going to make me stick out and look weird, right? Should I be covering my head and my shoulders if we're going somewhere? Is there that? Then you've also got to look about which countries are we going to. If you go to Japan, you're probably going to look like a tourist because everybody else there is Japanese. The same if you're going to Nigeria. You're going to be a target because, you know, you want to try and blend in as much as you can. Sometimes that's not always possible. So keep an eye on that. So don't only worry about where you are geographically, but also culturally. Keep an eye on other people's cultures. And then just like in the US, don't automatically assume that people will accept US dollars. I'm sure if I came to your shop and I offered you South African rands, well, somebody compared them to toilet paper, and quite frankly, they're not wrong. I mean, it's very pretty toilet paper, but it's South African rands, they're terrible currency. But I would always recommend changing your currency if you can before heading out. Some places will, of course, accept US dollars. I would love to accept any US dollars you want to give me. I'm more than happy to do so. But the problem is trying to convert them back into my usable currency might be a little bit of a mission for me. So we would recommend changing them. So that's that slide. Then my next one is please don't dress like a tourist. And I've given you some examples, and unknowingly my friends here have very kindly dressed up tonight to show us the perfect example of what a tourist looks like. It was completely done for this. Thank you, I appreciate it. You guys were on this team, thank you very much. We brought props. So a lot of dressing like a tourist. If you look, I mean, you're already going to stick out like a sore thumb, probably in Fiji. But if you dress like a tourist, nobody in Australia wears the hats with the corks, right? If you're going to wear the hats with the corks, we're going to think you're a weirdo. Nobody in South Africa wears a safari suit, and nobody in the world should ever wear sandals with socks.
Except in
So
Florida.
there is that. See, once again, thank you so much. You reiterated everything, which is wonderful. These little hats, these bucket hats, are super popular. They're very, very touristy. I can tell you that, one thing for sure. If you wouldn't wear it out at home to go shopping, don't wear it out to go shopping. You know what I'm saying? There's those kind of things. The matching tops, the cargo pants, and shorts with I don't know. They also just look like touristy to me. There's a lot of things. Have a look around and dress probably as plainly as possible. But we'll get to that. A few other little things that tourists really, how I know you're a tourist is how you're carrying your backpack or your handbag. So I brought my little handbag here. So most tourists carry their handbag, ladies, like this, right? You'll carry your handbag like this, and then you invariably kind of swing it to the back, and you'll do something like this. This is kind of normal for a lot of people, right? So my top tip is to take your handbag. You'll notice I've turned it around. I'm going to put it as a crossbody, right? And I'm going to put it here where the zip is under my hand, because I'm going to hold the zip down and I'm going to hold my bag. Because if you carry a handbag like this, even like this, in South Africa, they will come up behind you. A lot of pickpockets carry these really nice little knives, and they just go whack, and then your bag drops to the floor and it's gone, right? I mean, she doesn't experience it. She doesn't. We don't hang in the same circle, me and Celia. That's why I work here and she lives here. All right. So I hang on to the entrance of my handbag like this, and if I can, I'll even shorten the strap. I like to hold my handbag underneath my arm is even better because it's a little bit more secure. And if I'm walking with my mom does her handbag on the opposite side, so that when we're walking next to each other, the two handbags, we will walk shoulder to shoulder like this with our handbags here as we're doing our thing. And this is just automatic for us. It's completely normal. It's not a weird thing. But it is a nice tip especially for the ladies. Backpacks are another really difficult thing because with the backpack, invariably, and I have noticed that here, and I switch modes when I change from South Africa to anywhere else really. The other day I borrowed Kelly's backpack because we had gone shopping in Cairns and I had so much stuff because I was bringing back the prizes. So I took all my stuff out of this bag, gave it to Kelly because we filled up her backpack full of stuff. And I used the outside zip of her bag and I put my phone and my credit card and my cruise ship thing and stuff on the outside pouch. But it was Australia. Nobody attacked me and I had so many bags. I was coming back to the ship like a bag lady. That is the worst thing that you can do. If you have a backpack, please try and make sure that you have a backpack that kind of locks it, like double. Like if you can get something with a flappy that goes over the zippy thing, or at the very least put the zip right at the bottom instead at the top, because people can just zip into your bag. It's one of those things. Try and zip it up, and please carry your backpack. If you're gonna do it, like try and secure it as much as possible. People tend to carry backpacks over a half shoulder, like this cool whatever slinging around stuff. You're just asking for somebody to swipe it. And you guys call this a fanny pack? American? A what? A bum bag. We call it a moon bag to just be a little bit nicer, but moon bag, bum bag, fanny pack, whatever you want to call it. Another thing that is also, I'm sorry to say, unless you're going to an 80s party, it does kind of scream tourist to me. So just keep an eye on that, and also keep it near you and keep your hand on it. If you're going to use it, put your hand on it. The clips are really easy to undo and to run with it. Yeah. Selfie sticks. Just be careful. And then from me, I'm going to now tell you how not to look right for tourists. So number one is to do your research. Make sure you know where you're going, what you want to do, where you want to get there, how much the taxi is going to cost. Please go and chat to Kelly at Destination. She'll help you, but she doesn't know everything. So have a little Google, see what you guys are after yourself, and figure out where and what you want to do. I would always recommend dressing plainly, and please keep your bags closed. It's a huge culture shock for me coming to basically the first time I visited the States, Canada, England, Australia. I couldn't believe that people will leave their handbags open while they're having a cup of coffee or something, and they just sit there and the bag's open and they're chatting away. I've never seen this before in my life, that people have their handbag open. And it's astonishing, backpacks too, it's astonishing how quickly you guys do it. I mean, I could walk past there and just dip and go, happy days, because most of the time the purse is still open and that's standing there too. So please close your bags, and if you are going to put your handbag on the floor or around you when you're sitting down. Celia, if you would like to demonstrate. We like to put our handbags like this around your leg, because if I'm going to walk past and do a quick, I can't get it unless I've cut it. Sorry. Right? And also if you can, like put your feet on it. I end up sitting with it like this, because there's so many restaurants in South Africa that I've been to. There's been a lot of cases of pickpocketing where the kids run around and they come through and swipe your bag. So please just try and keep a hand on your stuff. A few things that are also just notable. I've told you this before, guys. When you go out, your jewelry, take your jewelry off, especially if it's your wedding rings, something special. If you're going to have something that you don't really care too much about. At home, I leave jewelry out because I do that deliberately. So we've been burgled a few times. And the last time we got burgled, my mum sent me a message and said, oh, the house got broken into again. And I said, oh no, what did they take? And she said, oh, they took the DVD player, the radio and her laptops. And I said, what about the TV? They said they didn't take the TV. And I said, damn, Mum, I've got to buy you a new TV, because if they're not even stealing the TV anymore, you know how old the TV is. Like, it's time for a change. So what I like to do is I take cheap, terrible jewelry and I leave it out, because it's easy to find. And I hide all my good stuff somewhere else that I'm not going to tell you in case the brand credit cards, also be careful with them. Try and put things in random places around your body. I'm sure we'll get to that later. Try and keep small currency with you if you can. Nothing is worse than people standing there peeling off, well, nothing's better. $100 bills, those are fabulous, love those. But if you are somewhere else, try and get your currency down to smaller denominations, so that when you're pulling out something, you can pull out that and not be showing how much money that you have on you. It's a good tip. Your watches, make sure your phones are also something really, phones get stolen so quickly. You need to remember, in a lot of the countries that we travel to, a phone equals like a week's salary for somebody, or 3 weeks salary of food for their children. So stealing a phone is going to be a good option for them, because everybody has one. So another nice thing to do is try and remember people's phone numbers if you can, or buy a secondary phone and have a phone that if it goes, oh well, it doesn't have all my banking pins on it, it doesn't have all of that. That's the one you take out with you, and you make it your meh phone, and you keep your good phone on board. And cameras, also please hold on to your cameras really carefully. And then my last thing is please keep an eye on everybody. If you're walking past somebody, look at them in the face, because that is the most intimidating thing. You will prevent yourself being attacked if you look at people face to face. And then just to show you how quick it is and how easy it is, just to nip things, back pockets, they're the worst. Okay, I've done enough talking. Thank you, bye.
My biggest recommendation is to carry yourself with great confidence. Be very aware of your surroundings. Look people in the eye. Just pay attention.
Resting bitch face.
She's perfected it. She says. I'm not sure I believe her. But, when I was with my sister in France during her semester abroad, and I was starting to feel like chopped liver, because guys would come up to her and put the rings on her and ignore me. And I realized later it's because I was walking with confidence, head up, looking at people, and she was kind of scurrying around like a young college girl. So, it's feel like chopped liver.
That's why I'm saying.
And I have just a variation on that, and you gave me the nickname Smiley, or Smiles. I greet everybody. I'm from South Africa. We're friendly. I greet everybody, and I think I'm a lot less of a target because I do walk confidently, I make eye contact, and I greet not only the people that are coming towards me, but everybody. So nobody's going to steal from me because they've just greeted me. Bula, bula, binaka, binaka. And it is that people find it almost disarming if you're actually friendly and you've created a connection with them. They're far less likely to steal from you.
One thing let me show this and I can put it down. Craig Voigt wears pickpocket-proof travel wear from Clothing Art. And there are pockets within pockets, and there are zippers with buttons, and he feels like you may look like a tourist, but you're not an easy target. So, and he is comfortable. So go ahead, Wayne.
No, and everybody's got good points. I think the best thing we're going to do tonight is give you tools for the toolbox. Depends on where you are. Obviously, I don't want everybody to be paranoid and not enjoy your time out there, but be aware of what your surroundings look like, cultural differences. Donna and I on our honeymoon were in Costa Rica, and we were lost, and we stopped by some guy asking directions holding a machete, and he's pointing the machete and doing. Don't do that in New York City. If you see a guy with a machete, probably not a guy you want to ask directions from, right? But culturally, where we were in Costa Rica was perfectly normal, and obviously those are the type of things you want to look for, and look for stuff that's out of ordinary. It's called situational awareness. We teach it. Sorry. The situational awareness is just be aware of your surroundings. When you enter a building, look for the exits. When you go down a street, look where busy people may be, a supermarket or a grocery store. If you get held up in an alley, you can run back to that. And every couple blocks, find one of those places, because if you're having to run away from someone mugging you, you need to be running somewhere. And we're all tourists. We don't typically know where we're going to be running to. So as you're out and about looking around some of the cities and sites, look for safe spots. Look for places that you can find a friendly face, or a police officer, or a bank. A lot of times they'll have security guards, things like that. So just be aware of those as you're walking around. Every couple minutes, just find another spot. Just find another spot. It'll become very natural if you keep doing that. Groups, we talked about, safety numbers. Obviously, stay together. If you're wanting, Celia's been highly trained in defensive craziness, so she can go do whatever she wants, I think, because I'm scared of her. But better off staying numbers. The other thing I'll tell you, and we've talked about it earlier, have a plan before you leave the ship. Download your maps. Where are you going? Load it on your phone before you go, so you're not standing outside the gate staring at your phone. And if you're in a group, pick one person to navigate, and then everybody else is the eyes and ears for it. Okay, if you're gonna figure out and navigate where you're going, have one person doing it, and then everybody else has got their head on a swivel looking for scooters coming by, grab stuff. Don't do it near the street. If you're on your phone, don't stand near the street. You're just asking for a scooter to come grab your stuff. So all these things will become natural the more you think about them. I don't want anybody to panic, but you got to start thinking, I'm different here. I'm a target, and what you want to try and do is not make yourself a target. Real quick, I just want to go through. You talked about the clothing options and things like that. I don't want to go all through that, but I do want to talk about just Eddie's here. I want to give Eddie big props. A lot of new people on board. Eddie had done some great presentations, some YouTube videos on how to prepare your phone. And we'll try and get those links posted up on this presentation on Circle or whatever, so you can go back and watch those if you haven't seen them. But he talks about not having everything in your phone. You don't want all your bank information. You don't want all your passwords, all those things in the phone that you take offshore. So I'm not going to rehash this presentation, but it's fantastic. He also talks about a dummy wallet. Easiest way is just, I'll stand up, I'll show you. This is how I go out, okay? If I'm going out and I get mugged, okay, I'm in my right left pocket, always. Here you go, take whatever you want. It's a couple $100. This is my fruit buying money, that's what I call it. Below small bills. I got a dummy wallet with some old credit cards that don't work anymore. Everybody has got a credit card that's been canceled or whatever, or a Costco card or whatever. Throw it in a wallet, hand it to them, and just back away. They're going to take that and run. Okay. Now that's that. Sorry. In here is my excursion money. Right. This is the big money that we've got to hand over when we get someplace. They're separate. You don't want to give them all the money. You just want to give them enough money to get them going. So take the time and put your money, know where it is, put it in a different pocket, put it in a different purse, put it in a different spot, so that it's not all in one spot. That's just the easiest thing. If they take that, I have my phone. Now, you hate fanny packs, but I don't care. I like my fanny pack.
It's okay, I put my money in my bra.
But my fanny pack is not external like the fanny packs you're seeing, right? My fanny pack is here. No one knows it's there. If someone goes, give me your phone, I don't use a phone, I use my watch. Would you like to take my watch? Take my watch. I don't care. That way, that's my navigation device, right? These devices that are technology-based are fantastic. We all have the phones. The watches are great, and I'm going to promote the watch very much so, because if you have navigation out and you're holding your phone becomes what they see and what they want, right? If you put your navigation in your phone and it's just ringing on your watch as you're walking, I can walk and look around. Beep, oop, gotta turn left here, right? And so I highly recommend getting these devices if you can. Don't get the big glitzy glamorous one, get the cheap one that just works, right? You don't want to have the $500 or $800 watch on your hand. My wife's married. I didn't marry her with this Aura ring. She has another ring somewhere, I think, right? Okay, good. I haven't seen it in months, but backpacks. We talked about backpacks, and I'll just real quick, because I think you covered most of it. I have the flappy backpacks. It just keeps people from having to unzip and get your stuff. This is a lot harder to get into. Think about those type of things. The other tool I'll give you, you guys talked about what you do with your bags. I have a D-ring on every bag I carry around. Why do I have a D-ring on every bag I carry around? Because, can you hold this? Yeah. It just gives me an opportunity to clip it to something. I can put this around a leg of an arm of a chair or whatever. And just, I can put this around an arm of a chair or whatever, right? If I leave this on a chair, it looks like someone wants to steal it, but if I clip that D-ring around and just let it sit there, if the guy walks by and wants to grab it, he's dragging a chair all of a sudden, right? It's a simple thing. Is it inconvenient for us? Yes. Is it making it a little harder? Yes. But it's also making it harder on your stuff, people who are trying to steal from you. These wet bags, who hasn't had wet underwear for the past 3 months? Everybody, right? So we live in water on a cruise ship, so these wet bags are fantastic. You can bring your phones with you if you're swimming or you're snorkeling or whatever. They can float behind you. They act as a secondary life jacket. Get one, they're $3, they're cheap, right? The other thing I like about them is they have
yellow so that you're visible to boats.
Yes, you can get an orange one so you're visible for boats when you're snorkeling. Good idea. The other thing I like about them is they usually have a long strap. You can put it over your body as a crossbody, but you can also loop it around things. And again, it sits on a chair, but they're going to drag the chair. The straps of a lounge chair at the pool, whatever, just gives them another step they have to overcome. And if they have to overcome a lot of steps, they're just going to look for an easier target. So just don't make yourself an easy target. And lastly, we all steal these from the pool. Everybody, right? What? Right? Borrow. Sorry, borrow. If I'm looking for things to steal that I can't see, that's the easiest thing, right? Just don't leave your stuff out. Cover it with a towel. That's as simple as it be. Now you can go swim. Not saying it's not going to get stolen, but if they don't see it, the odds are they're not going to be.
Or bury it under the sand. So literally take your bag, bury it under the sand, put your sarong over it, because I have a sarong, I don't steal stuff from the ship. And then people, even if they lift your sarong, they don't know that there's something underneath there, and you know exactly where you buried it. Or if you're not going to leave something on the beach, just go into the bushes, find somewhere, if you don't have a dry pack on you, and bury it somewhere. People don't know. Obviously, people who are watching you, they'll know, but yeah.
I'll promote my D-ring process. If I'm going out in the water or whatever, I'll often hang this from a tree. I can see it from the water, right? It's surrounded. I've got multiple things attached to it or whatever. It's going to make them, they're going to have a challenge. It's a puzzle for them to undo, but I can keep an eye on my stuff while I'm away. So just keep an eye on your stuff. So.
I just shove everything in my bra.
I told Wayne he's going to have to start wearing a bra.
Yeah.
So he could have a place to put.
How many towels did I steal? We won't go there. 2. I think the most important thing to remember, folks, is also that 99.9% of people are super nice, are just like you. Like, they're not going to bug you. This is the thing. Don't be scared about going out. There's always going to be an element of something somewhere. Of course there is. That's the world. That's life. But honest to God, there are 99.9% of people on the street are just like you said, just grateful that somebody said hello, and they're not there to try and attack you, depending where you are. But you know,
They also step up and they'll warn you about somebody who's following you or looking at you.
Yeah.
So pay attention to those. Somebody, even if you don't understand the language, if somebody's chattering at you and pointing, decide that means don't talk to that person or get away from this area.
We talked a lot about property, obviously. Let it go. You know, we all heard the Frozen song, just let it go. If they want your stuff, give it to them, right? Protect yourself. Put your stuff in different spots. Give them the least amount they can possibly get. But don't get yourself hurt. It's not worth getting yourself hurt over. They're going to talk a little bit about personal safety.
Just on when you're walking around, because it's not, I do use my phone. I do have directions on there, but I don't always have a buddy I can put the bag between. So be, again, situationally aware. So usually I will always have my phone inside a pouch that's got a strap, so I can hold it, loop it around, and hold it, and then I'll walk with the phone on the side that looks least dangerous. In some cases it is actually the buildings, but in most cases it's the opportunists on the road. And so just switch your phone to the other side, keep it by your side so it's not obvious, you've got your hand looped around it, don't hold it out, and then I make it loud enough, not so loud that everybody can hear it, but loud enough that I can hear the directions. So I don't have to keep taking it on and looking at it. So even though it is on the phone, you can actually just keep it on the side and so just be sensible about it.
Celia, when I'm carrying my phone, I keep my finger on the off button. So if somebody tries to take it, I'll click it off and then it's locked. And I know locks are not insurmountable, but it's a start. But I try not to do that. So.
I just keep it in my bra. Again, I just keep my phone in my bra because I'll know.
Donna, do you have anything real quick? We want to open it up to conversation too. So.
No, the only other thing I would say is that this little strap on my phone, I love it, but I also had a D-ring on here. So not only do I have this phone on my wrist and stuff, but I also sometimes take the D-ring and connect it to my purse or my backpack. And then I also stick it in my pocket. So it's not just in my pocket, it's in my pocket with
Not
the
your back
D-ring.
pocket.
And not my back pocket, it's in my front pocket. So.
Cool. Okay. All right, what kinds of questions do you have out there? Yes, Hazel.
When you're actually confronted with somebody who's trying to, get some money off you, don't give it to them. Throw it on the floor. That gives you a few seconds to run away the other way.
Did you hear Hazel?
No.
She said if you're going to give somebody the money because they're confronting you, don't hand it to them. Throw it on the floor so you can run the other way. What do you say, Wayne?
No, I mean, your whole opportunity or your whole goal is to get away, and the opportunity you can't, the number one self-defense technique is running. I don't think we're going to sit here and teach a lot of you how to run tonight, so, but that is the number one thing, is you just want to get away. You give them what they want and get away, and if you feel physically threatened, that's your biggest goal, is get away. So yeah.
All right, John, you have a question.
What about looking overly protective of your stuff?
So are you making yourself a target when you look overly protective?
Good question.
I think, maybe in a way, but you've also, I don't know, coming from South Africa, these things are just natural to us. So what you might see me as being overly whatever with my things, that's just what we do.
I'll take this one a little bit because it's soft targets, right? They're looking for soft targets, and if you're aware and you're protecting your stuff, then you're not a soft target. It's the guy who left his purse open, and not the guy, sorry, girl who left her purse open.
Men wear purses
They
too.
do, whatever.
All right, yes, Chris.
I perk up with technology solutions, and I loved your thought of having your watch giving you the directions. It gives a little buzz on your. Is there a Uber app for your watch? I've never thought of that.
Yeah, no, Uber does not work on my watch. I have an Apple, but the translation app does. The translation app does, so, can you help me where the bathroom is, or directions to the train station? I can do that rather than holding my phone out in front of me asking those types of questions. So it just keeps that main device safe for, and it's less of a visual for somebody who wants to steal it as well. That's really all you want to do, is keep it out of sight. So.
And sorry, also the obvious thing, but when you're taking photos, you're most vulnerable with your phone. And you're not gonna take a photo with your, well, Jim's got glasses he can use, but most people take it with their phone. So before you whip out your phone to take a photo, look around, see who's around, put your back towards, so that you're not vulnerable from behind. Just pick a spot. Make sure that you don't stand at the roadside where anybody can just grab your phone, because that's the most common place at time that people steal phones, is when you're taking a picture. So just before you take a picture, look around. You'll see I always do that. I'm like, okay, I want to take a picture. All right, and then I put my back somewhere. I'm like, okay, now. And then again, while I'm taking the photo, I'm still situationally aware. Take the photo, put it away, move on. So don't just stand. And particularly at tourist spots, they wait at the tourist spots. They know you're going to be there. They know you're going to try to take photos. They're going to ask
if you want me to take a photo for you.
Here.
Hand them their phone. That's a whole lot easier than them stealing it. So just be aware of that as well. I'm not saying everybody's like that, but be aware of what you're dealing with wherever you are. So.
It kind of sounds like you're both, like you are most concerned in South Africa. Is that correct?
That's just where they're from.
That's just where we're from.
That is applicable everywhere, Cindy.
Didn't hear that.
Well, it is, but it sounds like it's more concerned.
I think what we're trying to say is, in comparison to other countries in the world, we are automatically, being South African, we get brought up with a different mindset when it comes to safety, because there is more concern. There is a high crime rate. It is what it is. I mean, we do, and you can't deny it, we do have burglar bars everywhere. We do have alarms on the houses and things like that. So yes, safety is a concern to us. As a tourist going to South Africa, I'm not going to say don't go, because it is fabulous. It is a beautiful country to visit, and the people are wonderful. But as a South African coming into America, into Canada, you guys do things completely different to how I was automatically generally brought up to think. Like we're just wired differently.
But also, if you go to a place like Ecuador, it's a lot worse. If you go to any third world country, it's very similar to being South Africa. When we were in Brazil, it felt very much like home. So you've got exactly the same thing. So it's not just South Africa. Just because we mention South Africa doesn't mean, it's the crime capital of the world, if that's what you're saying. I'm saying that we have gone to many countries where the same principles apply, and that's why we're having the session, so that people don't think that you are safe wherever you go. And even in first world countries nowadays, there's more and more of the opportunistic crime happening. So you can't feel safe anywhere. You need to be conscious of your surroundings.
Be alert.
So we want to be as conscious in South Africa as we were in Brazil.
Well, my plan is actually sometime before I leave, I'm going to do a little chat about South Africa, so that when the ship, once the itinerary is finalized, for those who want to go or who will still be here, I can give you some ideas of things, because you'd have to book things in advance. So I'll throw in a little bit more of the safety stuff there for you guys too. But yeah, don't be put off just because I'm South African.
Jack, I saw you had a question. Are you still there? Jack, were you asking a question? No, okay. All right. Well, hold on, Paul. Chris had one, and then Paul.
Are we going to get a demonstration here? A pillow fight, if you will? A pillow fight.
I will say this. I'm a controls person, so I was trained to control bodies. She's a defensive person. We have 2 children.
Would you have more?
Maybe I can
If she
give
worked
you
defensive?
I can give you some tips. Maybe, I'm just spitballing, but if somebody, so the first thing, I 100% agree with Wayne. Run if you can. That's your first thing. If you can get away, by all means throw away your stuff, whatever, but run. If you can't run, you're a slow runner like me, or you're in a situation where you can't run, and you've handed over your things, and there's still somebody standing there with a knife, or threatening you in some way, what we get taught in karate is the very first thing that you do is you say, I don't want to fight. I don't want trouble. And so what you've just done is you put yourself into a stable position, so you're ready to move wherever you want to, because you've now moved back into a balanced position. You've put up your hands, So that if somebody tries to hit me on the head, I can block. If somebody tries to come with a knife, I'm going to be able to kick it away or hit it away. You do not want to stand there like this, because now you're a wide open target. You want to be sideways so that you present as little a target as possible. It's easy to just move out of the way and to, again, deflect. Obviously, we feel the same way. We're going to go in, to hit somebody once you've deflected. But then again, you want to run away. The objective is not to get into a bar brawl. The objective is to make yourself as small a target as possible. Prepare yourself for any situation that you can do. Defend yourself where you can. Smack them somewhere where it's going to hurt, and you're welcome to demonstrate that. And then get away.
Donna, do you have anything to add?
No, I mean, that was perfect. We did the same thing. We put our hands up like this, further away from, further away from our face.
And that's how you take things back.
Yeah, and yes, you're standing like this. You're putting your hands up. It's kind of letting them know. It's almost like I surrender, but it's more than that. It's being ready to block or to throw a punch. So very similar techniques.
That reminds me of my fencing days. All right, any other? Paul, you had a question.
I just wanted to say thank you all for doing this. This is really important stuff, and a lot of it common sense type stuff. Today, Lynn and I went to town, and we left the ship. We were going to go to a coffee shop. We picked up some groceries and so forth, so we had a couple bags. She had a small backpack she was taking too.
Thank you.
She had a backpack we were taking too. And at the coffee shop, we had our coffee and a piece of cheesecake that we shared. And we left, we went to the department store, had our bags with us, and we were looking at some stuff, didn't get anything there. We're walking back to the ship. I carry my phone in my front pocket when we're traveling around. And this is, I should preface this by saying, when we go to towns, between the number of people there, the way downtowns are set up and all, we kind of give it a rating of how safe we feel. And it was probably mid-rating. We didn't feel real safe. We met a lot of nice people, which was good. But I realized on the way back to the ship I didn't have my phone with me. And it's the first time in ages I can tell you that I left my phone at the coffee shop on the table 20 minutes earlier. Didn't realize I didn't have it till right then. Panicked because I just knew I felt, well, maybe I forgot and put it in my back pocket, because I do that sometimes, and maybe it got lifted and I didn't even feel it. Ran back to the department store, make sure I didn't set it down there. Ran back to the coffee shop, and guy at the door said, I knew you'd be back for it.
Lovely man.
So
Lovely man.
there are good people in the world, even in places that sometimes we don't feel real safe. And I'm not saying take any chances. One thing I did do is enable, if you have the capability on your phone, to have your watch alert you when you leave your phone behind. It's real plus. I had disabled mine, and it's now enabled again. So if you have that capability, I'd recommend that. So.
He was a lovely man at that door.
Yeah.
I know that coffee shop.
Did you?
I had breakfast there.
Oh.
Laura?
It's not a question, it's
If it's more than a quick question, come up here to the microphone.
a suggestion.
Ah.
Have a business card or an email between your phone case and your phone. So if they find it, they know how to contact you.
She's suggesting that you put a business card in your phone case so they can find you.
Just a caution, and I'm sure that Wayne wants to, I'll let Wayne say this.
Go.
I'm sure
One of you go.
No, Chris and I had talked about this as well, about the home screen on your phone and having a contact if found, please contact, please call, types of that. It's very similar to Mara's idea with a business card. I'm not completely comfortable with those ideas, just because it then gives full contact names, your full names, things like that. I understand that you want your phone back, and I do want you to get your phone back. But giving them other pieces of information, your personal information, sometimes isn't the best option for that.
What
right?
if the
'Cause
business card is the ship's business card with the ship number?
that can possibly be a good idea. The WhatsApp number, the QR code that we all have out there might be a good one. Jim, I think somebody printed some QR codes to the WhatsApp. To who was it? Eddie had printed some WhatsApp QR code type things. Those type things might be better than your personal information in the page.
All right, what other questions?
So Wayne, under preparation and situational awareness, right? One of the things that you can do from a preparation standpoint is I put an air tag in some of my bag a lot of times when I'm taking it somewhere. I've still got my phone, somebody takes my bag, I can at least contact the local police or try to get that information back. The other thing they're making now is cards that go right in your wallet that also will work with Apple or Google phones and Androids, and they're nice and flat, they'll fit right in the back, and you can actually track your wallet as well. Very inexpensive on Amazon, and I've got those in my wallet and also in the bags that I carry.
Could you hear all that?
Okay, he was talking about AirTags. I'm sorry. He was talking about AirTags, and there's also other devices out there that you can slip in your wallet that are very thin and tiny that will track your device or your wallet if it were to be stolen. Again, I applaud those ideas and those devices. My preaching to you is put yourself in a situational awareness opportunity so that doesn't happen. Is most you can minimize your risks. Use Eddie's techniques with a dummy wallet and things like that, so that if you are mugged, hopefully you're not even giving them the good stuff, right? And using the techniques of, I don't want to fight or whatever. Just look submissive and give them something. That's all they want. They want to get something and run away. So if you have a plan to give them something and make them run away, you're probably not even going to be having to chase down your wallet.
And location share with someone else on your phones.
David Austin had tags on his AirPods. He still knows they're in Mumbai.
Yeah, your Apple devices will track themselves, but that doesn't mean you want to go get them yourself. So get local law enforcement's help if you're tracking your devices.
All right, and Monica.
Yeah, we were traveling once, and a member of our party.
I think you have to be careful with your backpacks too. They can slash them on the bottom and take something out the bottom. That happened to a member of our family once when we were traveling, and he didn't even notice until we were back at the hotel that he had items missing.
What do you think of wearing the backpack on the front, making a front pack?
Well, sure, that's.
Well, no, I'm asking, not you.
No, you should always do that whenever you, and you'll see in Brazil, so many people wear their backpacks on the front. Just so that you, again, as to what Lauren was saying, can actually hold it, and you're aware of it.
I think in Japan, everybody noticed that all the Japanese people wear them on the front for two reasons, safety and courtesy. But they do it as a courtesy, so you're not constantly bumping into people. So again, that's one of those Lauren things, be culturally aware of where you are and how they operate and wear their devices.
In PNG, the guy who adopted us as our tour guide put his little bag hanging around in front so that he could keep an eye on it. So it's not a backpack, but same idea. So we could put our purses there if they had a short leash. So. Yes, Ellie.
So my purse is a brand called PackSafe, and they also make a backpack. So you can't slice through it. You can't cut the strap. One of the pockets is RFID, so you can't read through it. And then I keep a D-ring on the zippery parts.
Will you send me that link? Anybody who has specific products, please send me the links to them so I can include that with show notes. I see a hand. Yes, Laura.
So if you're looking to attract attention, help doesn't help. But if you say, "Oh no, I dropped my diamonds," everyone will come running. Sounds crazy.
Yeah, we didn't talk about verbalization, but obviously that's one of the definite things you want to do is you want to draw attention. If you're being mugged, you can stand there quietly, or you can say, "Please don't take my wallet." Whatever, say something, because someone around, like the gentleman that helped Paul, might come over and help you. So just verbalize that you need, whether you need help or at least draw attention to yourself.
Scream.
Well, she's saying screaming may not help, but
Get some people looking round at you.
you could try fire, but then you might get arrested for false reports. And so, all right. Any more questions?
I want to see Wayne get kicked.
Everybody does. Everybody does.
John,
I will tell the quick story real quick because I have two girls and Donna, actually you can tell the story. So why you do Krav Maga?
Oh no, not why I do Krav Maga. But I made a promise to myself that I would give my girls self-defense before they went to college. So one of my friend's daughters started getting stalked, and she was 16, and she was applying for all the jobs, and of course you leave your driver's license. And so this person had all her information, which again is another reason for the cards. But so we started Krav Maga, the two families, and my girls and I went religiously 5 days a week for the first summer that she was home from college. We would come home and say, and he would say, "How was it? What'd you learn?"
Wrong question.
Yeah, we took him down 3 times.
They didn't know how to hold back, and that's one of the things that was on me.
And I have a flip story from Donna's. I was learning self-defense because as a realtor, you get into some interesting potential situations. And I was talking about this class with my sister, and she goes, "Oh, I will never teach my daughter that. I don't want her to be afraid." So her daughter has gone through life without any self-defense. I think she's okay so far, but educate your kids. It's better than feeding.
We're on this journey to see the world, and we're going to go see the world. We're going to hit some good places, we're going to hit some bad places. And I mean, all I want everybody to do is enjoy what you're seeing, but be aware of what you're seeing. And then it'll be so much more enjoyable if you're familiar with your surroundings. So.
Can we just mention after dark?
No, we don't talk about that. It scares us.
I'm sorry.
Okay, go
There's
ahead.
nothing under your bed. It's okay.
Okay.
A lot of crime happens when it gets dark. Just, I know that you like to go out and see the night spots, but be very careful of dimly lit places. Make sure that you stick together as a group. Wayne can give you a whole lot of, but just be careful about being out after dark, because it gets 20 times worse after dark than it is in the day. In the day, you'll have opportunistic crime. The worst crime usually happens at night. So be very careful that you don't find yourself walking alone at night in strange places.
What is an appropriate size, an optimal size of a group? Is it 2, 5, a dozen? What?
Definitely more than 2.
But I'm asking.
I mean, 2. It depends on the capabilities of the 2, right? What are their? Like I said, if you're going to be the navigator, the other person's the eyes and ears watching your surroundings, because you're trying to figure out where the hell we are and how the hell to get back. Oh, and by the way, the cruise ship port's never posted, so we don't know where that is. Sorry. But I mean,
I beg to differ.
Those are the things that.
I searched that information, and Kelly says it's on the Villa Vie today.
We are assuming we put.
Read it under port agent address.
There it is. But don't call the port agent.
Yeah, Yoey has a question.
But no, I don't think there's an optimal size. If everybody has a job, right, and if everybody's doing their job and you've done your homework and you've evaluated your situation, you're not putting yourself in a bad situation to begin with. So.
Yeah, Yoey?
Yes, I have.
Oh, hold on. You have a quiet voice.
So I had my phone almost stolen in Rio, but I was in a group of 4. I was looking at the map on my phone, and this very fast going someone on an electric bike just zoomed and then grabbed my phone, but I was able to grab it back towards myself, so it was unsuccessful. I was very lucky. But just because you're in a group doesn't mean it. You might be, too relaxed when you're in a group. So just pay attention. You might not be making eye contact because you're in a group. So it is a good idea to continue to have awareness. I scream.
Sharon and I had this conversation the other day. She was asking somebody was asking her to help her on the phone and do something, but they were, I don't remember what country it was, but they were standing right out next to the curb. And she's like, I'll be happy to help you, but we need to go in this building first. Right? You don't want to stand on the curb working at your phone. Put your back against the wall. Do something. Go in a grocery store. Go in a supermarket. Go in a convenience store. 7-Eleven in Japan. But just, again, that's that situational awareness thing. And if you're working with buddies in a group, the navigator navigates, the group protects. And the protector is, hey, don't stand at the street and look at your phone. Let's go over here and do it. Stand under the shade tree where we can be away from the crowd and be away from the moving cars and things like that. And so just work as a group and you'll be better off. Not just be a group, but work as a group.
Do you remember for a while after 9/11, airports would say, we're in a code yellow, we're up to code orange, etc. That was their way of saying, pay more attention. In my gun safety class, we were taught to have that same kind of awareness. You don't necessarily need to be a code red where you're real anxious and hyper alert, because that could freeze you up a little, but it's just a reminder. There's all kinds of ways of staying alert. I can do one more question. Okay. Well, hold on, then I'll do two. Go right, Aliona. Stand up and talk louder, please. Wait.
What we do is we circle around the person who has the phone and we watch for anybody who's coming, and we let that person who's on their phone do what they need to do on their phone. And so we're the watchers who let them know if something's coming towards us or...
All right, so who is the question? Yes, Judy.
Okay, many of us wear hearing aids, and instead of your watch for your navigation, talking about hearing aids, my hearing aid, Bluetooth, whatever, to my Google Maps. And I can keep my phone in my pocket, and it still tells me where I'm going to turn or go straight 300 meters, whatever. And that is a help.
And those of you not wearing hearing aids, they make them even if you're not deaf.
I was going to say our audiologists can help us with that. So, all right.
They're called AirPods.
AirPods, right, or whatever Google device if you choose to be a Google person.
Okay. All right. Well,
that was for you, Chris.
We have. Okay. You can tell we can keep on going with questions and suggestions, ideas. It's keep this conversation going in your groups, so that you do like Aliona's family does, and like Wayne was suggesting and Celia was suggesting. Think outside the box. Think inside the circle. I just made that up. Say again. Watch out for each other. That's right. So we have another speaker's corner coming up on December 3rd. I'm going to interview Kelly O'Loughlin. What? Oh, did I forget to tell you? Oh, man.
You spoiled it.
She'll forget by then. And she's our destinations manager, and it's going to be fun. But she has more background than just being a destinations manager.
What?
Yeah.
She doesn't.
Yes, she does. Yes, she does. So she created her last name of Laughlin because it looks like laugh, and she laughs a lot. So she decided that'd be a good last name, huh, Kelly? So come see what Kelly has to say about herself. Thanks for coming tonight. Be safe out there.